Welcome back, Fanatics. DJ Bricks here, back for another review. And today I have a Lego Spider-Man No Way Home 2021 set. Before we dive into this, please hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you like what you see, and actually ring that bell so you are notified of when I upload new content, because we all know YouTube sucks at that. But getting into today's set, as I said, it is a Lego Spider-Man Marvel No Way Home set. It is the only one of the three from this movie wave that is actually mostly tied into the movie, but it seems Lego took a little bit of embellishment, because as we know, Marvel really didn't give anything for Hasbro and Lego to work with in regards to this movie, so they mostly had to wing it, and we'll get into that in a minute. But getting into the rest of the formalities, is set number 76185. It is Spider-Man at the Sanctum Workshop. It comes with 355 pieces. It's recommended for building ages 7 and up. And it retails here in America for about $40 US. And yes, the build mostly focuses on this basement thing for the Sanctum. You do get what Lego calls a bug monster, which again seems like something they made up for this set. We do get an awesome updated Doctor Strange. We'll get into that in a minute. A couple more exclusive figures. Our first wide release for Wong, the exclusive Spider-Man suit, but getting into it, without further ado, let's start deconstructing this, see how it stacks up, starting as always with the minifigures. So we're going to start off, of course, with Spider-Man. This is his new, what they're calling and marketing, his integrated suit, which is pretty much looks to be his Iron Spider suit 2.0. Going over his accessories first, he does come with these web pieces to show off he's shooting some webs. They do use the web pieces that you can customize however you want. This is how the instructions show to build these, but you can customize these however you want, so that is a good thing. Getting into the actual figure here, the head is not actually new. It's reused from the CMF Marvel Studio series, the Spidey that came in that. Yeah, it's a fine reuse. It does really do a good job of capturing Tom Holland's Spider-Man mask in the MCU here. The torso print is very nicely done. You got the nice spider logo there. It is metallic there, and it does shine very nicely. It does continue on to the back as always, and you do get back head printing there. And as you can see, the legs down here, they are dual molded, which is nice. We've only ever really gotten one version of Spider-Man for the MCU that doesn't have dual molded legs, so that's pretty nice. And you do have some nice leg printing there down there too. It's not the same as the other Spidey that comes in the smaller set, because they do make it look a little bit more armored. Now, the one downside about this figure, he doesn't have any arm printing, which previous MCU Spideys have, and I don't know why Lego opted not to do it this time, because there is a nice amount of detail on the actual suit in the movie, so who knows what concept art they were looking at for this figure. But that does it for looking at Spider-Man. So next up, we're going to take a look at the good Magic Doctor here. It is a brand new version of Doctor Strange. Because previously for Doctor Strange, we got figures for him, but they were based off concept art, and Lego only really updated the hairpiece for Infinity War. Since they didn't update the rest of the torso, so Lego took the opportunity here to because his costume is unchanged from those movies, to give us a new Doctor Strange where it is more accurate to his appearance in the movies. But getting into it, we're going to start off with his new cloak here, which is a nice rubber piece, and it's just clipped on. The cool part about this is it's a rubber piece, so it kind of just clips on. You don't actually have to take the head off to remove it, which is really nice. But the downside to it is it's molded in this upward curve here, so if you do have it on him, he tends to fall back a little bit unless you have him on a studded surface there. So, and you can put it back on him without removing his hair or head, but it is, sometimes you pop the hair off, but it's not that big of a deal. But for the rest of this segment, we're just gonna leave it off of him so we can get a better look at the torso and his face print and whatnot. So as I was saying, the torso and legs are completely new, and they are updated to reflect how he actually looks in the movies, which is really nice. You do have the Eye of Agamotto there, printed really nicely. You do have some shine there to give out some nice details. Flipping around, you have some nice back details here too, with his back of his outfit there. He does not come with dual molded legs, so you just get the printing on the front, which is a darn shame. But going back up here to the torso, I do like those light blue highlights to give depth to his robes there. Going up to his hair here, you got that slick back Superman hair. It is printed on both sides, so you get the whites on the side of his hair, which is really nice. And then we get a brand new face for Benedict Cumberbatch's appearance, which is way more accurate considering, again, his first figure was based off concept art, and they really didn't have that good of a likeness on him the first time. So there is his alternate face, which is a little bit more happy. You do have, this all is printed very nicely. Goatee kind of looks very nice. You do get facial creases and the cheekbone print to convey Benedict's kind of sunken face there, so that is all very nice. But getting the cloak of levitation back on him, again, looks very nice. Does make him a little back heavy, but that does it looking at the new Doctor Strange we got here. So looking at Wong, this is our first official wide release version of Wong. The previous one came in like a Bricktober pack way back in 2018. And it was kind of a promotional thing. So this is our first official release of Wong. He is more or less detailed for how he appears in No Way Home. He's got this nice new he reuses a fin hair piece here, and then he has brand new face print to kind of give a nice look to Benedict Wong there. I will say his head here is one-sided, so I mean it's both a good and bad thing. It does look very nicely like him, but I would have liked to have seen an alternate expression there. You got the nice leg print detailing his tunic, and then it carries up to the torso here, where he has a jacket on over it, and it is printed very nicely. Yellow light arms and gloves, and then you have the back of the torso, which has back details of the jacket. And as I said, no alternate face, but that does it for looking at Wong here. And last figure we got here is a new version of MJ. It's not a bad figure, but most of it is a reuse. You got plain black legs there. You got the torso from the Ron Weasley in the Harry Potter line. They just switched out the hand color, so it's technically a new part. And then her head, which quite honestly was created for her back in 2019 there. And you got the alternate expression there. It was created for her back in 2019, but it's been used for characters that are not her, so it's less exclusive here. And then we get the Wonder Woman hair in a dark reddish brown color, which is apparently new for that coloration. We haven't gotten that before, but or maybe we have, it just got a new part number, so fairly basic for MJ, but it gets the job done. You know, the set all built up. You do get two separate builds here. You get this weird bug monster thing that you build up, and then the main part of the build is this what is supposed to be part of the cellar of Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum. So we're going to start looking at the bug monster, and then we're going to get into the main build. So looking at what the Lego.com description calls a bug monster, this thing is pretty nicely built up using a wide variety of pieces. You got a nice mix of olive green here at the bottom, some dark green, some black, all smattered very nicely together. You do got a sticker up here on the top of the head, and this does have a very scorpion like design to it. I'm sure that may or may not have been intentional, given what we know one of Spider-Man's foes is, but this does have a nice design to it. You do have these vine pieces here from Hero Factory used for legs. They are posable, but this thing doesn't really stand on them. It's more meant to be flat on the ground like this, and the legs just kind of sit there looking nice. You do get some nice shaping here using these tendril pieces in black, kind of angled. One of the things I really like here is the shaping done right here at the bottom, where you have these nice little these kind of buffer end pieces that we've seen a few times before. They are kind of layered here to kind of create like an armored plating look, which is really nice. Up at the head here, you do have, again, I'm pointing out the sticker here. The head is fairly nicely built up. You do have the Baraki eye pieces here used for the eyes. You have that little rock detail piece used here for some shaping. You got some pincers. You do have some nice detail built up for the shoulders, and culminating at the pincers down here for a nice little build. They do use two different sizes of the Hero Factory Bionicle horn piece here to kind of create some nice little clasping realism to this. But as you can see, there is a little bit of posability here. You got some nice ball joint at the shoulder here, so this can get some nice range of movement at the shoulder there, which is nice. You got ball joint here at what would be the shoulder, so you get a nice little back and forth, up and down here. which is really nice. Again, the pincers can fully open up and fully entrap a minifigure in there, which is nice for playability there. So that is pretty good. And apart from that, again, the feet can move up and down, but there's not really way to hold it up there because this thing does collapse under its own weight. So I mean, you can pose them if you want. There is a hinge joint up here, down here at the abdomen, so that kind of gives you a nice little range, but it's meant to stay clicked into that one position, just to give a little bit of shaping and to that. And I almost forgot, you do have the head on a ball joint here, so you can get some nice movement here, get some nice expression. But that does it for this bug scorpion monster thing. At the main build of the set, you do get part of the Sanctum cellar here. You get a little bit of a workshop and a little bit of a lab here. You get this nice big little rune doorway thing there, and then behind there you got a nice little alcove jutting out here. So we're just gonna start looking right to left, and then I'll finish up with what's behind the rune doorway here thing. So going over to this side here, you do have a nice little workbench and a couch. On that workbench you do have you have the full array of Lego's tool set, all in pearl silver here. And you will see throughout this entire build, there's just stuff strewn everywhere. That's kind of been consistent with whatever Sanctum sets we do get. That seems to be a pattern here of just random stuff, both magical and non, just strewn about. So that is intentional, that is by design here. But again, going over, you have this nice little workbench, and as I said, you do have all these tools in Lego's little arsenal here, all in pearl silver there. Top of the workbench you have the drill there clipped on. You can use all these. You have a nice little bottle. You have one of the top gem pieces from that was introduced last year in that translucent opalescent color, which is really nice to get. And you do have on this one little nightstand back here, if I can get some good light in there, you do have a goblet there on the floor to go with this bottle on the counter here. And then back here, flipping around, I think I can get a better shot of this. You do have this nice little build of, I'm going to assume, a magical artifact that's kind of built up. You do have one of those chi pieces, and then one of those agate pieces that was introduced a couple years ago in the city space line. So that is a pretty nice little build there. You do have a couple of drawers here in this workbench. Top drawer has a one of the wrenches that's not up here as part of this tool set. You do get the big wrench down there in the drawer there, and then on the bottom drawer, hold on, I'll get into that in a minute. But in the bottom drawer you have the screwdriver from that set too, and then you have a syringe piece, and you'll see it better in the you have the medical syringe piece in bright yellow, which is the first time we're getting that piece in that color, and it remains exclusive to this set, as I as I am recording this. And then you got this little barrel right here. It's sitting here, and it does include a couple gems in it, blue and a green one. So that is pretty nice. And it just sits there. You got a nice little couch here, built up very nicely. You got that game controller from one of the collectible series. We're getting that in more sets, which is really nice. You have that new candelabra piece that was introduced in 2021 here. It is used here, and it is very nicely done. You get the candle pieces with those candle flames that we've been getting for a while hung up on the wall there. You have a mountain bike, a full mountain bike, which is really nice in that medium azure color. Pretty rare but slightly common color for that. Getting into what happened with me over there. This build sometimes does come apart if you grab it in certain ways, just because of how loosely connected everything is, which is not something I'm overly fond of, because if a kid grabs this in the wrong way, it's going to fall apart, and they're going to get kids going to get upset that this broke apart, and then they're going to go to their parent for help rebuilding it. Other thing in this section here I'm not overly fond of is all these rune pieces around here. They're all stickers. For the straight ones, I can understand that I'm stickering it, but as you can see, they have like 6 of those corner tiles, and they're all stickered. There's not really difference between most of them, so I feel like that could have really been a print. Because that was a big pain to make sure those stickers were on those pieces correctly, and make sure they look nice. But the overall effect I really like, and the part of the wall here in dark orange here looks really nice. So you do get a smattering of those brick pieces, which is really nice. And then going over into this corner, you have a little web on the wall that you can interchange that out with whatever you want. There is a couple of animals included in the set that you can switch out. You can switch out other amalgams of Peter's webs there too, if you want. Getting into the desk here, you have a nice array of things on it. You have this computer screen that is a sticker showing somebody looking up news articles on the Daily Bugle. And you have the keyboard down there too. That is the new updated print. On the desk here, you have a coffee cup, because this is a Lego set. Why not? You have one of the printed cookie pieces there too. And you have a camera that has frequently appeared. And then you have a seat down here that can rotate 360 for a minifigure to sit in if you want. On the floor here, you got a boombox piece, which is nice inclusion. You got right here is the hourglass piece that was introduced back with the Friends line. Sorry, not the Friends line, the Elves line, where it can attach 2 studs on either side. But this is the first time we're getting it where it actually has tan in there to represent sand in an hourglass. So previously it's just been all sorts of different colors. And getting into why I moved out of the way for that, you have this nice little chest build where you got some type of dimensional beast with some lime green tentacles kind of just peeking out through or trying to come through. That is pretty much just a simple build there, attached to one of those 1x2s with holes in it. It's quite simple build. These tentacles are kind of posable, but that just kind of just sits in there, and the top latch of the trunk kind of holds it into place. But if you are a little rough with this set and knock it off, it'll kind of knock out of place. And then you have this really nice shelf build here. It's a design they've used a couple times, I believe, but it is still very nicely done. Top shelf there has an egg in that relatively new tan color. You got a nice little assortment of bottles. This build with Sextant and gold, and the crown piece from Lego Movie 2. Second shelf, you just have a bunch of paint cans or whatever in various different colors, as well as nice little one down here where it's two different shades of pink, so that's pretty nice. You do get the red power miners gem, and then bottom shelf, it's kind of hard to see here, but you get one of the cauldron pieces with a handle, and then you get the toolbox piece in a dark blue, and here you get a nice little build here for another magical artifact using that same crown piece, just upside down a little bit. And then if I can get a good angle of this, but down there where the web is, you have a little jar, clear jar with a white top on it. I assume that's supposed to be a jar of Peter's web fluid. So that is pretty nice. And then on the back wall here, you get this nice little shaping showing some mountain detail, some nice sloping. A dark blue scorpion sitting right here. You have a second gen spider sitting up here. Then you have this nice little alcove built right up here that features a nice little nano figure in gold to represent some type of statue or trophy. Then you got a gem sitting up there in the top, and then up here, down here, you have a little basin for, as we've seen in the trailers, for Doctor Strange to do some spells to help Spider-Man out. And then here's another thing I don't like about the back part of this build, but it is the back, so it kind of works out, but then you have this part jutting out, which means you're supposed to flip this around and play with it. This part is acceptable just because of how it's built for that workbench, but here with the shelf, this sticking up, no bueno. But that does it for looking at the build of the set. Let's move on into box, extra pieces, and I'll meet you back up for my final thoughts. At the extra pieces, you do get the web pieces that go unused in this set. The handcuffs, the big web, the two smaller ones. You can use them to customize Spidey's webs if you want, but they do go unused in the set in the official builds. Going into the main extra pieces though, you get a whole bunch of jewels in different colors. You get that syringe piece, an extra one in that that new yellow color, an extra nano fig, which is nice. You get a couple extra barbs in different colors, extra one of those cookies, and then extra one of that new opal, translucent opal color for this gem piece here. So pretty nice selection of extra pieces. So looking at the instructions, it's confided to one bound booklet here. It's a pretty sizable one. You got the front box art as the instructions cover, the set number, QR code in the corner there. Opening it up, you have a complete 2-page spread explaining the building app if you want to utilize it. You have the sort by open one bag at a time thing, and it does show you that this build pretty much takes 3 bags to build. And flipping to the back here, it does take about 87 pages of building, so it's a pretty lengthy build there. And back of the instructions here, you just have a cross-sell for the mechs that were released in 2021, as well as a cross-sell for the some of the Infinity Saga sets for that summer. And then you just get parts inventory in case you need it. You get a pirate sporting the win product feedback thing on the back. So looking at the box art here, it's that newer style that we've been seeing for the Marvel line, where you got the Lego logo, the movie title logo there. You got Spidey on the side here in his integrated suit. You got the set specs on the side. You got all these little whited out bricks with various Marvel characters in different poses there. You got a nice product shot of the set. You got minifigure call out down there at the bottom, Spidey logo in the corner. Top of this, you just have more of the various minifigures shown here. You got Spidey sporting the actual size reference there. On the back of the box here, you just have more continuation of the front design here. You got a Lego-fied version of the Spidey in his new suit there in the corner. You got a nice product shot of various things that you can do with the set. It's not much, but it is more of a play set. So getting into my final thoughts for the set, build-wise, it is very fun. It was a very enjoyable build. Really varied, and looks really nice when it's all said and done. You got this nice little bug thing, while others may see it as a waste of parts. It's debatable, but I think it was a really nice inclusion. Clearly something Lego came up with just to put a little more conflict into the set, and it is really nicely done and adds a little bit more play value here for the kids, other than just having figures have this nice little play set to work off of and imagine with. So that is nice, as well as having an actual play set in a Lego set. Lego tends to more do like the vehicles and stuff, so it is nice seeing a play set like this again. That being said, there are some criticisms here. Some of this build is not very well held together. It's just plates, bricks on top of bricks, and it's not really well connected. So if you pick it up at any point other than underneath it, it will fall apart on you. And also where the couch and the desk over there are connected, they're so loosely connected that they'll also fall off if you're not careful while moving this thing around. So that's a little bit of a disappointment, but this is as for the other complaints that I see in this community, it being an eclectic mess, again, we've seen that with the previous versions of sets tied into the Sanctum, where it's just random stuff just strewn about. Some of it magical, some of it not, but again, have this nice. It does achieve this nice effect of having a nice lived-in area, of giving kids a lot of stuff to play with, a lot of imagination. So that's kind of why it's done. And a lot of this is like rare pieces and stuff for a good parts pack. Again, getting certain of these pieces in cheaper sets, that nice sand printed for molded. I mean, for the hourglass, that is nice to get that and to get in a cheaper set. So I wholeheartedly approve for quality. Some of my, I don't know if this is more on the torso print, was Wong there, but some of it's not very good. Some of it happened in the instructions I saw with some piece colors. For example, building that little two-tone paint thing, it's not really clear that those are two different colors in the instructions. So yeah, that was a pain to build that little thing because of quality within the instructions of not being clear with those pieces. Minifigure wise, again, very little complaints here. MJ is probably the weakest link. This set really could have used Ned in a wider release set. I know we got him in a minifigure pack when Far From Home came out, but it would have been nice to see him included here. And Doctor Strange, while being a really good upgrade to the previous figure we got, he isn't without his faults. That cape, while being way more nicer, does suffer from the same thing that the Batman 89 figure suffers from, which is just being a little too back heavy. As you can see, I have him on a stud compared to all the others, so that is kind of not good, because he does fall back a lot if you don't have him on a studded base. So I appreciate the update to the Cloak of Levitation. I do like the fact that you can easily take it off without really damaging the figure, but it's not without its drawbacks. Price wise, $40 US for this. Yep, I definitely feel like I got my money's worth with the build for this set. Figure wise too, kind of got it. Again, would have liked to have seen Ned, but it is pretty nice. So based on my ranking, this set does get a 8 out of 10 from me. Again, this is a very nice set we got out of this line. It's very nicely done. I do appreciate that we got it. Clearly, there was some drawbacks for it being based off the movie and Lego not getting the reference material for it, but I still think this is a really good set, and Lego did a good job with it, with what they could, and kudos to the designer. But that does it for this review. Comment below, let me know what you think about this set, and I always look forward to having a discussion with you guys in the comments down there. But that does it for this review in this video. So until next time, keep building.